In 2018, production for HBO's new series Watchmen began, and local news documented the film crew on the streets of Macon, Georgia.
The production company's goal is to transform Macon into a town called Greenwood.
The show is set in the same alternate history universe as the celebrated comics, but instead of New York, the show is set in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Moving the action to Tulsa might seem unexpected, unless you know Oklahoma's troubled history of racial violence. The Greenwood neighborhood in Tulsa was the site of the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre, also called the Tulsa Race Riots, where as many as 300 people, mostly black, were killed. Showrunner Damon Lindelof said at a press event that he was inspired to make race and policing the center of the new series, in part after reading Ta-Nehisi Coates' article, The Case for Reparations, and a book called The Burning on the Tulsa Race Massacre. But even in Oklahoma, the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre is little known. A century ago, like most of the country, Tulsa was racially segregated. In 1921, Greenwood was one of the wealthiest black communities in the country. It was known as Black Wall Street. The riot began in May of 1921 when Dick Rowland, a 19-year-old shoeshiner, walked into the Drexel building in Tulsa, which had the only toilet downtown available to black people. According to the Oklahoma Historical Society, it's not clear what actually happened in that elevator, but Sarah Page, the white elevator operator, started screaming, and Dick Rowland was arrested. A white mob gathered outside the courthouse where Rowland was taken. They were confronted by black men, including World War I veterans, who wanted to protect him. After an initial struggle between the two groups, hundreds of white people marched on Greenwood in a murderous rage. For 2 days afterward, the mob burned hundreds of black-owned businesses and homes to the ground. On June 1, 1921, martial law was declared, and troops rounded up black men, women, and children, detaining them for days. Survivors of the massacre recalled bodies being loaded onto trains and dumped off bridges into the Arkansas River and into mass graves. Those graves have never been officially identified, but in October 2018, Tulsa Mayor G.T. Bynum announced that the city would re-examine 3 potential sites. In choosing Tulsa as Watchmen's setting, Lindelof is tapping into a dark side of American history and making the violence and paranoia of white supremacy the show's villain.
We know those are pretty colors that just hide what the world really is. Black and white.
And like other comic book villains, this one is never truly defeated. Lindelof said, "There's no defeating white supremacy. It's not going anywhere."